This is a tutorial on how to play the Jamaica national anthem the original way. You're looking at the written score. If you play the anthem in the way I tell you to play it now, even if you can't read music, people think that you can read music. So notice the first 6 notes we have starts on G. G, 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 A, E, G, F, F. Okay, with those are the melody notes, and with each melody note you have a chord with the right hand. Make sure that the melody note is at the top in the right hand. So that means the other notes for the chord would be below the melody note. Okay, so the first chord is a G chord. That's G, D, B, first inversion. So the highest note is G. Next chord is a C chord. And that is root position C, E, G. And the highest note is G. Next note, null. That's a G minor chord. Here G is the highest note, D, B, flat. Farther now would be an A chord, the first inversion, so A is the highest note, E is below, and then C sharp is below that. Farther, that's another A chord, but this time is root position, so A, C sharp, E, and E is the highest note. Let's play from the beginning. G chord, C chord, G minor chord, A chord, and then blessed now would be a D minor chord, but we suspend a D minor suspended chord. So instead of playing the F right away, we play a G with the D and the A. Here's a D, here's the A, and we play a G with it. And then eventually we resolve. So it's bless our land. Okay then, guard us with thy mighty hand. Guard us with the D minor. A is the highest note. D, F, A is the highest note. Guard us with, that is a G chord, and the highest note is B, G, D. Notice that the highest note is B. With thy, we come down to a B diminished chord. F is the highest note. Then mighty hand would be, this is actually a diminished chord, C diminished chord. And then we resolve it to a C chord. That's it. C diminished. That's mighty hand would be, a C chord, C, E, G, so the highest note is G. In the C diminished, the highest note was A. And then we go to keep us free from evil powers now. Keep with the A minor, the highest note is A. So the other notes are A and E. The highest note is C actually. And keep us free. Keep us. The same chord, then free now would be D7, E7th chord, and the highest note in this one is actually B. And the next chord, from, is actually the same chord, but this time you make sure that G sharp is at the top. That's G sharp, evil now would be an F chord. So the A is the highest note, A, F, and C. And then you go up to another F chord. This time the highest note in the chord is C. The C above middle C. So it's F, A, C. R's would be, that is actually a C chord, and then another C chord. So powers. B or light would be D minor, and then D minor, the highest note is A. Following that we have a G seventh, and you add a ninth. The ninth is the A. So here is it, we have B and D, a G seventh chord, you add the ninth, you will put the F in the bass, so that's why we leave it out. Light would be a C chord. Here we go, the highest note is G. Through, another C chord, and the highest note is E. And then countless would be A minor chord. That's the highest note, or the higher note here is E, the melody note. Countless, that is actually a D ninth chord. You can actually put an F sharp in it too. So it's F sharp, A, C, E. E is the highest note, it's the melody note. And then R's are hours. We suspend a G chord, we suspend it and then we resolve it. So from the beginning it would be G chord, C chord, G minor, A chord, D minor diminished, no, D minor suspended, and then we resolve to D minor chord, and then D minor, repeat, and then G chord, then B diminished, then C diminished, then two C chords, A minor with C at the top, repeat, then an E7th with B at the top, then E7th again with G sharp at the top, and then F chord with A at the top, F chord again with C at the top, then a C chord with G at the top, repeat. B or light now would be D minor, then a G7th chord, you add a ninth, and then a C chord, another C chord with E at the top this time, and then countless would be A minor, then a D ninth, then a G suspended, fourth, and then we resolve the third. Then tour leaders now. That happens to be an E chord. E is the highest note, so B is below and G sharp. We have a D ninth, so we have the A, and we have the D, and we have the E being the highest note. R, that would be for the word R, and then leaders now would be a D7, a E7, an E7. The highest note is B, and then another E7. This time the highest note you come down to. Great would be A minor. A is the highest note. Deep. This is supposed to be an E7 Fender. It's an A minor, and you have a passing note. Still an A minor chord, so Fender. Grant. That's a G chord with B at the top, another G chord, true, G's at the top this time. Wisdom would be, this is supposed to be a C chord, and then a G chord, G's at the top, and then from above now would be, it's a C chord. So we say we have a passing note in the under part. And G chord above. To our leaders, great defender, chord 1. No, justice, truth is the next line. Justice, chord 1, another chord 1, and then a chord 5. The highest note is G, and then A minor. 4 ever would be D 7th repeated, Ja, the same chord, and then Jamaica would be, that's a C chord with the E at the top, and then a G sharp diminished with a D at the top, followed by an A minor chord. So that's land would be D minor 7th chord with a C at the top, and then we love now would be, make sure you play the B instead of the D. We, B's at the top, and then love would be a C chord, C's at the top. Then the trumpet part, you go to a high G. Okay, then we go Jamaica. The note of the melody is Jamaica, C chord, those 2 C chords there. And then Jamaica, the next Jamaica. Jamaica, that would be F. And then we change it to an F minor. That's after we sing the second one. Jamaica. Change from F major to an F minor before we go on. And then Jamaica land we love. This happens to be a D minor 7th, but the D's at the top. And then Jamaica would be, this is actually a C chord followed by a G sharp diminished. So it's the G sharp diminished, and then A minor, and then D minor. We notice with the A minor here, C's at the top, and then D 7th with the D at the top. We now love would be G 7th, but this time the D, we have a D above, and then love would be, we play an F chord, and while we hold the top C, we decorate the under part there. The tenor would sing, alto would sing, but we incorporate both at the same time. But you make sure you play the melody note, the C note, loud enough, so that it sustains while you play the under parts. Playing from the beginning. Chord C, G minor, A with A at the top, A with E at the top, and then D minor suspended, and then it resolves to, and then D minor, and repeat, and then G chord with a B at the top, then a B diminished, then a C diminished, then 2 C chords, A minor, repeat, C's at the top, then E7 with B at the top, repeat E7 with G sharp at the top, and then F chord with A at the top, another F chord with C this time at the top, and then powers, that would be 2 C chords, then D minor, then a G7 with a ninth, you add a ninth, then a C chord, G is the highest note, through another C chord, then a A minor chord with C as a top note, and then remember we said D ninth, and then a G suspended to a G. Okay, then we go E7th, D7th, or just a D, a plain D, and then a E7th with B at the top, repeat E7th with E at the the first E7th I just mentioned a while ago, a B's at the top, then you go to another E7th with the E at the top, and then A minor, then E7th, then A minor. Use a passing note to come to another A minor with A at the top, and then grand, G chord, another G chord, a C chord, a G chord, a C chord, but you fill in this melody note because you have from justice, C chord, G chord, A minor, D7th, repeat, and then C chord with the E at the top, then G sharp diminished, then A minor, then D7, D minor 7, and then G7th, making sure the B is the top note in this case, and then we move to C, with C at the top, and then the trumpet part, and then Jamaica would be single note, and then chord, C chord, with G at the top, and Jamaica again we play F chord, and while we are on that we change it to a minor chord while we hold the outer notes, and then Jamaica now would be, it's a D minor 7th, and then a C with the E at the top, so that's followed by G minor diminished, and then A minor, and then D minor 7th with a C at the top, and then G 7th with a D at the top. Then we play an F chord, but the under parts are resolved with a decoration there too. The C chord, that's making sure you hold on to the top note, the melody note. You notice when I decorated the lower parts, the higher part, or the melody part, was still singing. Okay, so much so for the right hand. Now, the left hand would be, you mainly play octaves. So here we go. Then you go to a C. So it's G7. G7, G, C, G, C, E, A, G sharp, E, F, A, C, and D, F, G, A, D, G. So if I should play fluently, it would be. To our leaders would be E, F sharp, G sharp, then A, G sharp, then a D, B, C, B, A, D, G, F, E, C, C. That was wrong. It's C,